All right, we have Mike Rodriguez joining us, coming off an impressive showing in the co-main event of UFC on ESPN 15 last weekend. He put away Marcin Prachio, put him away in just over 2 minutes. Mike, good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. First off, it is Friday as we record this. Happy anniversary to you and your wife. This is number 5, right?
Yep, 5 years. 5 years, going strong.
Good for you, man. I'm an 8-year vet myself, but by today's standards, standards, we have defied the odds here, have we not?
Yeah.
It's a hard thing. I don't know what's I don't know what's more difficult, marriage or MMA.
Oh man.
Man, did I just put you in a bad spot? Yeah. Well, congratulations to you both, and congratulations on the win Saturday night. It's no secret that there was a lot riding on that fight for both of you guys, and you went out there and you overwhelmed Marcin, especially in the clinch. That was brutal stuff. You were like prime Anderson out there. How does it feel 6 days later as we record to be back in the win column and do it so emphatically?
Oh man, it feels good. So the thing about it is that I felt, I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna finish him. I was like, I'm gonna finish him in the first round. I can feel it. I honestly thought I was gonna head kick him because his right hand was so low, like how he typically stands. So I'm like, I'm gonna head kick him for sure. But I ended up being a clinch.
It was just brutal in there, man. Like he couldn't get out. He tried so hard, he just couldn't get out, and you were just so violent in that spot. Did that just, like, you mentioned that you were thinking about head kicking him, but was the clinch game, was that part of the game plan, or did that just kind of happen all of a sudden?
No. So we did want to clinch him. We wanted to clinch him and beat him up because we know he's a karate guy. He needs the distance and everything. And typically, I'm the taller, longer guy. I'm always keeping guys outside my range. But Joe's like, man, like, you have a nasty clinch. He's like, use it. This is the perfect fight to use it. We don't want to be on the outside with this guy because that's what he's strong at. So my whole thing in my head was how to close distance. I closed it, and I just hit him with a bunch of clinches and stuff.
I know there's always pressure heading into all of these fights. Like, every fight is more important than the last fight, but most had the feeling, and I thought I heard you say it as well a few times during the virtual media day, that this is a must-win type of fight for both of you guys. How did you sort of deal with that extra pressure attached to this fight? Because a lot of people looked at it as, whoever loses this fight might be done here.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the pressure situation. I couldn't be thinking about, oh, you need this and this, that, and the other. Because then if I start thinking about that, like, you lose focus on what the initial goal is, which was how to beat Marcin. It wasn't necessarily the results; it's how to beat him. What is it that I worked so hard to do to beat him, and that's what I needed to focus on. I could not focus on getting cut or losing a fight or even winning the fight. Couldn't even think about that. So I need to get that down, grounded first, is how to beat him, and what I need to do to be successful, and I did it.
Did you have to do anything mentally to be able to not put that pressure on yourself? Because it's got to be hard to not think about it at all. But obviously, you've been able to push it to the side. Was there anything you had to do mentally, maybe with your coaches or something like that, to stay positive and just have as much fun as possible?
I just switch gears of my mental state is all I had to do. Like, I didn't want to keep thinking of, oh man, I need to. I'm like, well, hold on, let's backtrack a little bit. Instead of thinking about me being cut or me losing or whatever the case may be, how to prevent those things. What is it that I need to do to prevent those things? Looked at those things. These are the things to prevent all of those results. So I'm like, all right, let me focus on that, the result, the process. So I focused more on the process and not analyze too much on everything else. And that's how it was able to put together. That's how I was able to mentally put it to the side, because I just got obsessed with what I was supposed to do to win. Not obsessed, but I just focused on that more.
It's interesting because the last time we had spoken, it was before the Busan fight. And when I asked you about like how you saw the fight playing out, I remember you saying it vividly, like, I'm not focused on finishes. I don't care about any of that stuff. My goal is to win every second of this fight.
Yeah.
And now, like, heading into this fight, you're like, I'm going to finish him. Like, I know I'm going to finish him.
Yeah.
Did something change? Like, besides just, the couple of tweaks you made mentally, was there something about like your approach to the fight itself that changed from heading into the December fight at all?
Yeah. A couple of things changed. So I felt like in the Busan fight, I was trying to, like, I'm like, yeah, I know I have a fight, but I was like mentally distracted. Like I'm not trying to discredit. I forgot the guy's name. I'm not trying to discredit him. He did his thing. He's a beast, and I definitely think he's gonna be in a mix. But I just like I kind of like slept on him in a sense. I'll beat him. I ain't sweating it. Like that's like I didn't mentally take it as serious as I should have. I will say that. I will 1,000,000% say that. I just was like, I'll beat him. I was like doing all this other shit. I wasn't really paying attention much, so like I should have. Yeah, but that was the one thing I changed up here. I was like really focused, very driven. I'm like, I gotta win this. I gotta, So
you get a fight finally after that, and then you get a bump to the co-main event. I mean, obviously not under the best circumstances in the world because OSP tested positive for COVID, but you do get,
I know.
I mean, you were still on the main card anyways, but you get the bump up there right before that great main event between Frankie Edgar and Pedro Munoz. When were you made aware that you were getting the co-main spot, and how did you react to it?
What was it, like 24 hours notice or something like that?
So you knew Friday?
Or maybe it was that, like Friday night, or maybe Saturday morning is when they told us. One of the two. Or like, yeah, but they told me, they're like, OSP, because I'm like, I seen OSP at weigh-ins, so I'm like, I'm assuming he's fine, like, I didn't think nothing of it. Then they were like, yeah, he pulled out. I'm like, wait, what? I just saw him at weigh-in, like I just seen him. So yeah, I don't know, but it didn't. I just was like, oh shit, all right, like it wasn't like anything crazy, like that's wow, all right, yeah, I'll take it, Yeah, you just as soon as like I thought it, like Maze and Joe and Jake, they all said the same thing. They're like, it's still the same fight. Doesn't matter if it's the beginning of the card. Doesn't matter if it's in the fucking parking lot. It's still the same fight. You're still gonna fight the same guy. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I just continue to focus on what I need to focus on. That was it.
One of the things that I was hoping to see during fight week came to fruition because the last time you had fought in Las Vegas was the Contender Series fight, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I remember the fight
3 years ago.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But I remember like the lead into that fight, Joe Lozon had released this video leading into like the build up to the Contender Series, and one of the things that always stuck out to me, and I'm so glad he re-released it during fight week, was you were asked about like what you wanted to eat after the fight, and you said you wanted to go to Olive Garden, and I remember Steve May said something like, forget that noise, we're not going to freaking Olive Garden, man. So how did you celebrate this victory? Did you get your unlimited salad and breadsticks, or did you go somewhere else?
No, I went to In-N-Out. I went to In-N-Out Burger. Everybody was hyping it up. In-N-Out Burger's like, man, it's so, man, I'm like, this is the hype? Like, what? They're like, oh, you got to do this. This is the way, like, blah, blah. And I listened to it. I'm like, okay, all right. I had it, and I'm just like, I wish I would have went to Five Guys or something. Like, it just was like, it's like, nah. It was just like, there's nothing to it. I'm like, this is the burger. Like, like your barbecue burger will be better than those burgers. So there's nothing great about them. They're all right. Like,
it's a burger.
I don't know, but people hype it up. They're like, oh, you got to try In-N-Out. It's amazing. Have you had it? I'm like, all right, let me try it. And I tried it, and I'm like, what? It's all right. Like, I don't know. It didn't hit to me as much as it does to other people.
So you were just like, screw this, I'm going back to play Siege.
Yeah,
like
I would say that. Oh, yeah, I did. I had to do that. But I would say the fries were actually pretty good. They were like freshly made with cheese and everything on it. It was bomb.
Oh.
But the burger, I was like, it was all right.
Better than Five Guys fries?
I would say yeah.
Wow.
Because I feel like Five Guys fries can get so soggy. Like
They give you
I don't
so
know.
many.
Yeah, like oh man, it sometimes it can be really good. I think it depends also the location where you have it at. So but yeah.
So you got some. You're a big gamer. We've talked about this a lot. You shouted
Huge
out the
gamer.
game scene. You talked
Yeah.
about Siege with John Anik, and then you got some love from the video game community for the post-fight interview. Rainbow Six Esports shouts you out at the end of their show, wanting to get you on the program, and I believe it was petitioned to get Mike on the next show. You must have lost your mind when you saw that, right?
Dude, I love those guys. The community it's amazing. Like everybody, because everybody just wholesome people that that all came together from all different areas to and just have all this love for this one particular game. So it's awesome to relate to all these people. So you got like me, for instance, I fight in the UFC. Then you have guys who are just streamers who play pro league, people who make content. Like it's people from all different places that all came together. And in fact, there's even more because as soon as I said that on the post-fight interview and everything, a bunch of people started reaching out to me. It was like, yo, I play Siege. I love that game. I don't have anybody to play with, but I love it. I'm like, all right, well, here's my Uplay. You can play with me, blah, blah, blah. So it's cool. Like, it's awesome. The community is just great. I love them. Everybody in the community. It's amazing.
So your Twitch following got a little bit of a boost?
Yeah. Yeah. One of my friends was telling me, he's like, dude, you just got like 1,000 followers. I was like, what? So yeah. I'm like, God damn.
Look at you, man.
So,
take it over. Take it over MMA, take it over the gaming community. And you got
trying.
You got all this momentum right now. I mean, one win, especially like that, can change everything, man. Especially in this division. Like things at 205 are really compelling right now because there's no champion. John Jones vacates. Reyes and Blachowicz are about to fight for the interim title. What did you think when John vacated? Like, what are your thoughts on him no longer being the champion, opening things up a little bit, and him bumping up to heavyweight?
I thought it was about time for him. I just felt like he was becoming like the big fish in a little pond, essentially. Like, it's all this little fish here, and we're like swimming around this big, gelatinous damn shark. It was like, all right, you gonna leave? So yeah, it was his time to get a bigger tank. So yeah, but it's great because it opens up a lot of new doors and avenues for all of us, other guys who is trying to race their title. But I think Reyes is gonna hold that title for a bit. He's just the man, dude. He's gonna crush it. Wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting fight on September 26th. But it does make the division a little bit fresh. It went from like a mouse hole of an opening, now like the garage door open, and we can start driving trucks through there. It's
insane. Yeah, I think I think will be cool if to see John Jones leave, go beat some guys up at heavyweight, then like amongst all of the rest of the 205ers, we fight amongst each other and everything, and then when we start building like stardom and everything, because it's like right now there's like no other 205er star besides John Jones too. So we start building stardom. Some of us start building stardom. He comes back and possibly fight like one of the guys to get that stardom, like super fights or whatever. But other than that, right now, I don't think it's not for him. So he might as well just go off in the sunset and just fight the heavyweights.
I think there's only two fights that he would ever come back for at 205. One is if Adesanya moves up and there's still that beef there. Maybe. The other, I think if Yuri Prochazka can just start violently finishing everybody and win the belt and start defending, I think he would drop down for that. Other than that, I don't see him dropping down for anything.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yuri's got that international appeal. Like when he debuted, everyone was like, "Holy S!" Like Yuri Prochazka is fighting in the UFC. This is crazy. And then he had that insane fight with Volkan Ozdemir, and now like everybody's on board. So I mean, I know it's just one fight, but he's got a ton of experience. He's got almost 40 fights in his career. So I think if he just starts running through guys with how weird and as wacky as he is, maybe. But other than that, I don't think he drops back down.
No, yeah, he did it. It's all right. It's a new chapter in his life. He's moved on. But who knows, man? This sport is weird. Sport's weird, man. You see things, you're like, oh, he's never going to come back. And the person come back. Like, just a weird sport.
It is,
but we'll see.
When do you want to get back and do your thing? You want to try to get another one in? I mean, you didn't have a long night at the office, but I'm sure you had a long camp and you're unwinding a little bit. You want to try to get another one in this year?
Oh yeah, I want if I can 2 more.
There you
But
go.
definitely, I do want to get one. Yeah, I want to stay active. There's any shit else we can do out here. Why not train and fight? You know,
You can only play video games for so long, man.
this is true. Yeah, train and fight. That's it. Train, fight, play video games.
And it's such a weird spot in the country right now for MMA because like New England is like shut down. Like there's so many guys that are so close to getting there. Like Mitch Raposo. I mean, he's right there, and he's one of your teammates. That dude is a monster. That's my guy.
He's a beast. Yeah, he's right there. Who else we got? Dennis Paiva.
He's on the contender
series. Yeah, which is long overdue. I feel like he should have been on there a while back. Yeah, there's so many guys. I'm pretty sure a couple other guys who are fighting in other cities. If they win those fights that are coming up, I'm pretty sure they'll be in the mix. Like, it's just so many of us. So many of us.
Yeah, here CES is trying. They're trying for like late September, maybe early October to get something going. That's so big for New England.
They need to, man, because like all these guys were on a standstill, and they were like so close, but they can't do anything because of COVID. Can't run events. It's just like, it sucks.
Yeah.
And then like guys are nervous to fight elsewhere because they don't want to get fed to like killers. You know what I mean? Like that's always a thing too. So it's like guys that like say if like LFA is like, oh yeah, come fight us. And you're like, all right, cool. You go in there and fight, and you fight some absolute monster that derail your success. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit like that.
Or you're brought in as like the B side fighter. Because like in New England, the A side, and then if they go, if they go and fight for Titan or something, they're gonna match him with the Florida guy, and it's gonna be all promo videos on the Florida guy. And then if Mitch wins, like, that's just like, oh, Mitch beat the Florida guy, yay!
Yeah, yeah. He got a victory and possibly got COVID. Sick. No, but yeah, it's just things like that. It's just like, it's a bummer. It's a rough situation, but I feel like it goes for everyone else over the country as well. Yeah. Like there's no places for anybody to gain their stardom. Shit, at this point, the Contender Series might as well just stop bringing in guys. Like just keep booking Contender Series fights the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got to give some of these guys that are like closely there something. Because why waste their whole year on a sideline when you can possibly can have the next big star right there?
I agree. I don't know. And we're at that place in the Contender Series where we're like halfway through, but now we need to start filling out these last few cards. So, I mean, we saw Dennis get his shot, so maybe we'll see some of these other guys get their shots too.
Yeah, I honestly, I think at this point, they might as well just keep the Contender Series going for the rest of the year. Just because of that, there is no other fights for anybody else. So, it's like, where else are you going to go if they could come there? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, maybe take a few weeks off in October. I think October 6th is like the last scheduled one, but the UFC is going to be in Abu Dhabi like that whole month. So Dana's not going to be there. Take it off, and then when you come back in November,
bring it right back. Yep.
There we go. See, but look at what we're doing. We're booking the territory here, Mike.
Look at that. That's what we should do. And then just get big name guys in all these regions and just have them all pair to fight each other. You know what I mean? Get whoever's the number one guy at 55 in Northeast. Have him fight the South guy, or have him fight the West guy. They should do it that way.
Yeah.
Because it's just all these kids just sitting here, while their career is just unfolding. Time's only so big. You know what I mean? They only have so much time in this game. So let these kids fight.
Yeah, and there's some really talented New England prospects that are already their upper 20s or low 30s right now.
That can definitely do something. You know what I mean? Even that's how I think you should. Just fly them in, have them fight. Whatever. They can make the matchmaking all they want, whatever. Our New England guys are ready. We're always ready.
They don't care.
So, yeah.
Just fight whatever. Who sticks out to you, though? 205, like you said, we've opened things up. There's some interesting matchups for you. I suggested, because we do a matchmaking show here on MMA Fighting, I suggested you fight Alexa Kamer, who you could get one back for New England here. He's the guy who beat Fabio Charance on the Contender Series. The guy who
that guy. Yeah. I'll take that fight. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I'll take that fight. A lot of what I kept seeing is a lot of people kept saying that other Polish guy. What is his name? Little short dude. He fought OSP. I remember he fought OSP. OSP caught him in the Von Flug choke. Really good boxing. He's very aggressive with his hands. What the hell is his name?
I gotta look it up.
I don't know. He also fought Roundtree, and he ended up beating Roundtree.
Oh,
Like Roundtree was pouring it on him like the first round, and then he just came back and took the last two. I don't remember what the kid's name is. He's really good though.
That's gonna drive me crazy. I have to look it up like a rookie.
I just remember his fight with OSP. He
not Latifi.
No, not Latifi.
So let's see. Gotta go back down.
He's the man, dude. I honestly like watching him.
Oh, Pedro?
Fight.
No, not Pedro.
No,
That's not a Polish guy.
That's not a Polish guy.
That's an Australian guy. Oh God. Yep, I'm not going to pronounce his name.
I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about because I can't pronounce his name either.
Oleksiejczuk?
Yeah, that guy.
There you go. There you go. There's a fun fight.
Yeah. I seen him fight and I'm like, oh, this dude's awesome. Like I like the way he fights.
Yeah, he's 14-2. Yeah, it's a good fight. Well, now he's 14-4.
Everybody was like, "Oh, you should take that fight. You should take that fight." I was like, "I'll take that fight." I like his fight style. He's the man.
Getting him into the state. I mean, that might be a Fight Island idea. You cool?
Yeah.
You down to make that trip?
Put me on the plane. I'm there.
Let's do it. I like it. Now when we do interviews, I can't wait to hear all the interviewers try to pronounce your opponent's name. Then you're just gonna call him Mike. I love it.
Mike.
There you go, man.
But yeah.
Well done, man. I mean, huge win for you.
Thank you.
But I have to ask you something, by the way, because we've done a few interviews, and I'm sure you've been asked about this a million times, but I've actually never heard the reasoning. But people were talking about it on Twitter on Saturday night. Where did the Slow nickname come from? Like, I'm sorry this is a redundant question, but I have no idea.
No, it's all right. It's okay. So back when I first started going to Joe's, I came straight from a Muay Thai gym. And if you watch Muay Thai is very methodical. You hear, you like punching from the hips and stuff. So, excuse me, I started hitting mitts with Maze. I didn't know anything about boxing. So he's like, man, come on. Like, he's like, hit. And I'm hitting the shots he's asking me to call for, but he's like, whoa, you are slow as fuck. He's like, hey. He's like, try to be like, more loose, because I was just stiff, like boom, boom, just power. It was all powerful, but it was just, there was no finesse to it. There was no boxing finesse. There was no speed. And then he was like, man, you are swinging like molasses right now. And he was like, yeah, we're changing your name to Slow Mike from now on. So for a long time, they just kept calling me Slow Mike. Every time I come in the gym, oh snap, Slow Mike's here, and that was the nickname. And I would say, nicknames aren't, you can't choose them. They're just given, and that was the nickname I was given, and I just ran with it.
Thanks, Steve.
And then all of a sudden it became like a play on words because then I'm knocking guys out in the first round so quick. They're like, oh, shit. And so now it's like, it's so funny because I was listening to Rogan's podcast. Somebody sent me a clip from Rogan's podcast, and they were talking about me a little bit. During one of their, they were breaking down some card, and Brandon Schaub's was saying that, like, why would you have that nickname, Slow? It's such a bad nickname, etc. And Rogan was like, well, he has a 7-second knockout. He has a knockout in the first round here, knockout in the first round. So I think it's a play on words. Yeah. So just like that. But now everybody like Methodical better because of Dominick Cruz.
Yeah, Dominick Cruz, Methodical Mike. I mean, it's supposed to have a bell to it now that I say it out loud. Methodical Mike.
Methodical Mike. So everybody's been calling me that recently.
So maybe a nickname switch here. I mean, this isn't like Corey Anderson 25-8 to overtime, but this is big news.
I know, right?
Methodical Mike. I love it, man. Well, thank you for the time, man. As always, enjoy
Thank
the
you.
victory, and hopefully we see you back in there soon, man.
Will do. Thank you, man.